Hello, hello everyone. Welcome to our webinar on digital marketing. So we're talking about the specialist versus the generalist. Which digital marketing career path is right for you? So this is an ongoing debate in the digital world. I know that even me myself, I've had that debate before. So is it better to specialize? Is it better to generalize? So what we are doing here is to really break down this topic. So my name is Michael Ubodu. I'm the business growth manager of Intense Digital. I have about 6 years of experience in digital marketing and planning and executing campaigns, and of course, driving growth through data driven strategies and cross functional team leadership. So I've worked across different industries like finance, media, law, and FMCG in North America, Europe, um, Asia, as well as Nigeria, of course. So uh, just welcome. Once you come into the webinar, just drop a chat, uh, drop a chat with us so we can know that you're present with us. We'll be getting into it now. So with me on the call or the webinar, I have Alex. So I'll let Alex introduce herself to the team.
Sure. Hi, everyone. Thanks very much, Michael. My name is Alex, excuse me, and I am from the Digital Marketing Institute. And what I do here is I work with partners from all around the world to bring the Digital Marketing Institute curriculum, certification, success to these partners, such as Intense Digital, so you can upskill and you can progress in your career. So, this is really important today when we're speaking about whether you should be a specialist or a generalist. No matter what, we do have a great course for you if you are interested in certifying at the end of this. But this is just a discussion, and we look forward to working with you. And please do, as Michael said, pop your questions in the chat, and we'd love to just get a discussion going.
Thank you very much, Alex. I think before we even go into it, um, Alex, which one would you consider yourself? Are you a specialist or a generalist?
Generalist for me, absolutely. I would be someone working more on the business development side of things, and definitely a generalist.
Okay, I think it's the same for me. So both of both of us are generalists. Argued on a specialist versus generalist webinar.
Yes.
So I think for me, I have worked across different. I've applied different fields of digital marketing like email marketing, search engine optimization, paid ads, social media marketing, content marketing as well. Um, my core is actually even strategy. So just being able to touch different aspects of digital marketing, it helps me in my own way. For someone else, someone might prefer to be a specialist. So what we are doing on this webinar is to actually go into it. So let's do a deep dive. Let's go into it now. So we are going to start with the specialist. So who exactly is a specialist? So a specialist is someone um, that has mastered one aspect or one area of digital marketing, such as SEO, paid ads, email marketing, or content strategy. So um, everyone knows what they call a T-shaped marketer. So you want to have like basic knowledge of different parts, but you choose to have one area of specialty. So if you look at a Deo Patel, for example, now is very much known in the world of SEO. So you would definitely call him an SEO specialist, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he doesn't know the other parts of digital marketing, but he chooses to specialize in SEO, and that's what he is known for. Whether it is good for him uh, or good for you, it depends on what your goals are as a specialist, or you want to be a generalist. So let's look into uh, more of being a specialist. What exactly are the advantages? So there are several advantages to being a specialist. So the first thing is deep expertise. So specialists build a very profound knowledge in a single domain, making them highly skilled and irreplaceable for complex tasks. So, in your organization, for example, or if you're aspiring to work for an organization and you want to be known as the SEO person, or if there's SEO solutions that are needed, you are the person that you want people to come to. So your level of your knowledge won't just be on the shallow basis as opposed to maybe every other person on your team. You have to be that person, that go-to person. So as a specialist, you have to be able to build that profound knowledge, and that is one thing that you can find in a specialist. They have that deep expertise in whatever subject matter that they choose to have. And of course, it is often in demand for roles that require solving specific challenges. So, if an organization needs to retain customers better now, for example, and they want to use an email marketing specialist for that, or an email marketing person for that, they most likely would go for someone that specializes in email marketing because that person already has that expertise. That person has that deep knowledge into how to do it, rather than a generalist that okay, I know that you know content marketing, I know that you know SEO, I know you know social media marketing, but for the problem that I'm looking to solve at this moment, at this point in time, I need to retain customers better with email marketing. So they would go for an email marketing specialist. So obviously, you also have opportunities for thought leadership. So when you excel in a particular area, specialist as a specialist, you can build that authority, become speakers, authors, and influencers in that niche. I know I already mentioned his name earlier on this webinar, but a name that would always come to you when you mentioned SEO is Neil Patel. Why? It's because he has built that that for himself. Everyone knows him as that thought leader in SEO. So if you choose to be a specialist, this will be the direction for you. There are opportunities for thought leadership. When people want SEO, you are the person to reach out to. So also, a specialist would appeal to industry leaders. So companies with very big marketing teams, they tend to have specialists to optimize um, specific segments of their strategy. So, for example, a company can say, okay, I want to have a head of SEO, for example. So if I I'm looking to have the head of SEO or the head of content or the head of digital strategy, for example, um, a generalist would not work for those sort of positions because those are specialist positions, and big companies usually want generalists in these kind of positions. So sorry, specialists in these kind of positions, so that they can be able to drive the goals of that department better. And also, you have higher demand for niche skills. So organizations often seek specialists to handle specific functions where precision and efficiency are paramount. So, for example, if you're looking at performance marketing or technical SEO, a specialist is more suited to that role than a generalist. And of course, they actually command higher salaries in their areas of scarcity. So if there is a scarcity of let's say, content marketers uh, in the industry, for example, a content marketing specialist will most likely command a higher salary in a particular role, in a particular content marketing role, than someone that just does content marketing and knows others as well. So specialists will command higher salaries in roles that are related to that particular field. And of course, you have a structured career path. So in being a specialist, you have so for example, I can start um, my career as an intern, for example. So if I'm interning in SEO, I can move from there to being an SEO analyst, and from there to an SEO manager and head of SEO. So there's a structured career path when you are a specialist as opposed to being a generalist. However, there are also challenges to it. Also challenges to it. So one of the challenges to being a specialist is you bear the risk of becoming too focused and not adapting to market changes. So picture a scenario where um, let's say a particular role for a company now needs maybe like a head of growth, for example. A head of growth you are you an SEO specialist, and the head of growth also needs not just SEO, be paid ads and strategy as well. So remain a specialist, a head of growth or chief marketing chief digital officer might not be too might be far from reach for you because you have boxed yourself into being a specialist. You also have limited career flexibility when industries pivot and roles evolve. As I mentioned, roles evolve, and now you're needing more skills than you currently had because you chose to specialize in one position. But I would not say that it is all gloom. Of course, specialists have their advantages, and even the generalist has its advantages and challenges as well. So, Alex, have you been able to experience um, any challenges with any specialist that you know per se?
Yeah, I think exactly like you were saying, you might bring yourself into a little niche too much, and you risk maybe not being adaptable in some areas. But to be honest, I think um, while those are risks, there's all solutions to those risks for sure. So it's a matter of making sure that you're keeping up to date on changes in the industry and making yourself flexible and open to, collaboration or whatever that might be. And you might find yourself working in different areas, but coming back to your specialism. So there's a lot of crossover, as I'm sure you'll talk about a little bit more when you get to the generalist. There's so many areas that cross over in digital marketing that you do benefit from being the expert in your area, from being a specialist. But certainly, as you say, you risk being too special and maybe a bit too in your own kind of lane a little bit.
Thank you very much, Alex. I think that was really spot on. Um, so those were the challenges as we've mentioned. So let's look into being a generalist. So Alex, um, as a generalist, how would you describe yourself as a generalist?
I think in general, and now we're saying the words too much, but I think in general, the generalist is someone who can do so many different tasks, but what it does require is a deep knowledge of several areas of digital marketing. But I think you really benefit from uh, this generalist approach because, say, for instance, you're doing some SEO work, but you also have to link that in with content marketing because if you're writing a blog or whatever it might be, that blog needs to be optimized to reflect the SEO work and SEO research that you've done. So, you need to make sure that you're writing content that speaks to your audience and reflects whatever your goals are, but then you also need to make sure that matches key SEO research. So a small example there of how the generalist needs to actually know quite a lot in that way. In my own work, I would do more business development, more strategy. So, I mean, we bring in a ton of things. We look a lot at target audiences, at reach, and making sure that we're optimizing a lot of competitor research and all that kind of stuff too. So, I guess my job would be very research heavy where I'm at. So we end up dipping into quite a lot of different things. I think the last thing to say about a generalist, a key part of this is soft skills. You need to work a lot with different people because you engage the specialists, you engage people from multiple different expertise. So you need to make sure that you're good at delegation, you're good at project management, and working in teams. So that would be my sort of summary of a generalist in a little bit now.
Yes, thank you very much. You already explained this slide for us. So as mentioned, so
We've lost Michael for just a second. Um, just while we're waiting for him, could anyone maybe pop in the chat there what you work as at the moment, or maybe what you're interested in? Do you want to be a specialist? Do you want to be generalist? Is there an area that you are more interested in? I think we have Michael coming back. Brilliant. Thank you, Bukunmi. Sorry, I'm Canadian, so sorry for the mispronunciation if that is the case, but you're a generalist. Brilliant. Leo, generalist. I think we have all generalists on the call, myself and Michael as well. I think it's a great area because particularly with, um, depending on where you're at in your career, perfect. Here we go. Coyote is saying, I'm a generalist currently working as a content and social media marketer, but I'm currently working towards becoming a performance marketer. Fantastic. So much of your work is going to inform that growth and that career change, not career change, but sort of specialty area change. And that's great. That's really, really interesting. Hi, Michael. I was just saying to the audience, just wondering if they are interested in becoming generalists and becoming specialists, what we're looking at there. So sorry,
mhm.
jump back in, but you can see, sorry, we have mainly generalists. And we have Coyote, who's
Oh,
maybe looking towards
why we always generalist?
and I know we have some comments from Instagram as well. So maybe
Okay,
Emeka, if you
okay.
could pop those into the chat for us, we can absolutely have a chat there.
So yes, please. We encourage comments. This we would like to know what you guys think as well. So those that say they want to be a generalist, okay, why do you choose generalist as opposed to being a specialist? So please let us know. While we continue, we'll address all comments and questions as well. So Kayode says you don't have a choice but to be a generalist if you are in Nigeria. But we also have specialists in Nigeria that are doing quite well. We have specialists. I know quite a number of specialists that are doing quite well in their roles as well. So, um, so yes, let's continue being a generalist. So it's a generalist is skilled in across multiple areas of digital marketing. So be it social media marketing, uh, analytics, email marketing, paid advertising, digital strategy, website optimization is also there as well. So all this, so you don't necessarily need to have like the full spectrum, but just have like quite a number of things that you know that you can play in multiple roles and still be effective. So yeah, so what exactly are the advantages of being a generalist? So one thing that you see with generalists is they have a holistic understanding. So generalists can usually see the bigger picture and understand how different parts of a strategy integrate. So um, If you are a specialist in content marketing, for example, um, you might be boxed in, okay, knowing how content marketing works, but how does content marketing, the kind of content you write, affect the overall strategy? How does strategy link to your content marketing? And if your content is going to be promoted by paid ad specialists, um, how how do you know that, okay, this is the right content for this particular kind of goal? So all this, a generalist that has all this will be able to integrate all three to understand the bigger picture, whereas a specialist might be just more narrow focused. So they are just focused on hitting the targets more. The generalist sees more than what specialist sees. So they're often great at managing campaigns that require collaboration across multiple channels as well. So um, one thing that I say is you want a generalist in a brainstorm session. If you're having a brainstorm session for a marketing campaign, for example, you always want a generalist to be there because that generalist is going to see not just from your perspective as a specialist, but is going to see how your contributions affect another department's contribution to the overall campaign goals. So all this is just helps generalists have that holistic understanding. So they are very important in organizations as well. As a generalist is ideal for small businesses and startups. So smaller organizations they often seek generalists. So I don't know. I'm sure we have a lot of Nigerians on the on the webinar here. I'm sure you've seen a job description that says, "Oh, uh, yeah, you must know SEO, you must know email marketing, social media marketing, you must even know how to use Canva too." So all these things uh, it usually comes from like small businesses and startups. So these kind of businesses will mostly go for generalists as opposed to specialists because they want you to be able to like do like a diverse number of tasks. So and in turn that will offer greater career opportunities in dynamic environments. And if you are someone like me that likes variety in tasks, a generalist will be your best bet. So, as a generalist, you can slip into this area, you can slip into that area, you can slip into maybe content marketing, strategy, maybe some form of SEO, um, email marketing as well. So it gives you that dynamism that just keeps your work interesting by involving different aspects of digital marketing. So as opposed to a specialist, not that you don't have like a diverse number of things to do, but it's all focused to a particular goal and it's just more narrow than what a generalist would carry out. And of course you have that adaptability. So it is very important. I think someone on the chat mentioned it as well that, oh yeah, yeah, in Nigeria you have to be a generalist. So that just plays to being adaptable. So if a particular role is being phased out, for example, okay, we have the rise of AI pretty much everywhere. So if AI is now doing your role, for example, and it's very well adapt uh, the new climb or the changing environments that you are in. So a specialist, for example, if I am an email marketing specialist and all of a sudden there's this new tool that just does everything, does the segmentation, does the targeting, does the writing of the copy, sending of the emails. A The number of email marketing specialists that are required might be reduced because of that. So how as some, so for a generalist to handle that now, a generalist that doesn't doesn't just know email marketing can easily get his bread from another part of another sector of digital marketing, as opposed to just knowing that particular uh, role in email marketing. So generalists are generally very adaptable and can switch between roles. And another thing with being a generalist is leadership readiness. So, generalists are generally suited for leadership roles where strategic oversight and cross-functional um, collaboration are required. So, imagine maybe the role of maybe like a chief growth officer or a chief marketing officer. Um, most companies would want to use a generalist in those sort of positions because you are not just speaking to one aspect of marketing anymore. So does this you definitely need to know like strategy for a role like that. Uh, in okay, you are doing growth marketing as well. Growth marketing has different. There are different parts to growth marketing. There is SEO is involved, content marketing is involved, strategy is involved, paid ads is involved. So all this would help the most of just those like one aspect. So Alex, yourself, expect
Your internet broke up there for a second, Michael.
oh my god. Well, where did you hear me last?
Alex.
Okay, so I was just mentioning that being a generalist yourself, what advantages have you seen that has helped you in your role so far?
Yeah. I think for me, what I particularly like is the fact that you get to do everything is different. Each project is different. You do a lot of collaboration, so you're always learning. And I think someone in the chat there, Leo, sort of said it's a great idea as a generalist that you start general and then you can maybe even go specific down and start to build out a niche for yourself. And I really like that because as a generalist, you're able to really just embrace what it is you're interested in. And again, as a specialist, you absolutely do that too, and you're sticking to it. So I think as a generalist, you are always doing something new, and kind of there's always room for growth there too. So that's what I like.
Yes, thank you very much, Alex, for that. Um, please, more contributions, more questions. I'm sure we'll get to all of them. So, yes, being a generalist, but it also has some challenges. So, I think we'll go into what those challenges are. So, the number one thing as a generalist
I might just wait for Michael to come back and then I can jump in. He's gone. Well, I can jump in here just for a moment. So, as Michael was saying, there is a challenge of being a generalist, and the first is absolutely that you are jack of all trades, master of none, and that can make it really difficult to stand out in a competitive job market where our specialists, and I can see from Instagram We have Harry Jacks saying, I'm interested in becoming a specialist. And as a specialist, you absolutely stand out more. You make a niche for yourself and you stand out more. Challenges of a generalist definitely is you need to make yourself competitive in a job. So we'll talk a little bit later actually about how you can do that and sort of stand apart from the crowd. But absolutely, as a generalist, that can be an issue for sure. Hey, Michael.
Hi, Alex. I don't, I don't know why I'm just getting kicked out by the network, but I'm sure we're still on Generalist.
Yep, I
So,
just went through that
as
slide, but
as you see,
sorry.
okay, that's great then. So that's fine, that's fine. So as I must have said, so as a generalist, you may struggle to stand out in a competitive job market where um, specific expertise is valued. So I think I saw, I must have seen maybe like a resume recently. I think the candidate was applying for a social media marketing role. Yes, it's social media marketing role. But and the role was a niche role. The role was a niche role, but on the CV, I think I was seeing graphics design, customer service. So there were just like a lot of things that uh, that were not required by that role. And if the role is a specialist role, you might be seen as a jack of all trades and master of none. So that is one of the challenges that you might face as a generalist as well. But all in all, so both sides have their advantages, both sides have their challenges. But who exactly or why should you choose to be a generalist or a specialist? Let's go into that uh, now. So if you are looking to be a specialist, you should choose to specialize if number one, you are passionate about a particular area of digital marketing. So if you know that, oh, I really like SEO, or I really like email marketing, or I really like content marketing, there are a lot of specialists here, not just in Nigeria, across the world, that have chosen to just stick with one part, and they are doing fine. They're doing fantastic with it. So if you also aim to be a subject matter expert or a thought leader, that you should choose to specialize as well. So generalists are not generally known as thought leaders. Specialists are more known as thought leaders. And if you value depth over breadth in your career, then you should choose to specialize. So, or if you want to generalize, you should choose to generalize if you prefer diverse tasks and responsibilities. So, if you want to be able to do a diverse number of things, yes, being a generalist is the way for you. If you want to work in smaller organizations or startups, that being a journalist is the way for you. And if you aspire to leadership roles that require a broad skill set, as I mentioned, like a chief growth officer, a chief marketing officer, would ideally not be a specialist. These will be generalists because of they need to be able to manage the entire team. So I think we will take some questions now. So let's. But before we even go into some questions, you can keep dropping them in the chat. Alex, I know Alex wants to take us on some things as well to understand the path to take when you want to either be a specialist or a generalist.
Perfect. Thank you very much. I'm going to work between two screens here, and I do have to apologize to everyone as well. I'm a little bit sick, so I've been trying to hide my coughing off screen, but anyway, apologies ahead of time for that. So there we go. I'm just going to run through that from the Digital Marketing Institute's point of view. What we do is we specialize in certifications, and the reason I think this is a well placed to discuss today is because This is how you can gain the skills to be a specialist in a certain area. And this is also how you can become a generalist too, the course that I'll discuss. But I want to kind of talk about this in relation to skills. So, if you're a generalist, if you're a specialist, you will have digital marketing skills and digital skills. Um, and I think in particular too, if there's anyone on the call who isn't specifically a marketer, but you're either looking to get into marketing, or maybe you're an entrepreneur and you need to know about marketing in order to keep your business relevant and successful, if you're thinking about how can I do that better, a digital marketing course is a great way to do that. And again, it allows you to do this specialist or generalist sort of spectrum. So I won't go into all of these points here, but there are transferable skills that digital marketers have, whether you're generalist or specialist. So these are not all the areas of digital marketing, and my apologies for the terrible graphic design that I've done on this. Our graphic designer at Digital Marketing Institute would faint if she saw what I've done to her slide. But just quickly, I put this together. If you look at someone who's a social media marketer, the background and the skills that they need to have are things like copywriting, design. You do a lot of community engagement because you're replying to texts, you're engaging with posts, you're researching and making sure you're doing content that your audience is interested in and likes. Um, Also, on a more technical scale, you're using data analytics. You're seeing what reach you get. You're seeing how campaigns work, how you optimize the data from that campaign to make results in certain areas. So there's a lot in a role of a digital marketer that there's a lot of transferable skills that you can have. Um, Talking about project management, you can specialize in social media marketing, but you can have the generalist skills of project management because you have to keep track of so many different things when you're doing a social media campaign. There's creativity that you bring to this, and there's budgeting. Budgeting is huge when it comes to any type of online campaign, whether it's paid. There's if there's an organic element to it, you still are monitoring how everything is going and what you're doing. So there's tons of transferable skills. Again, looking at data and analytics, this is really informs any type of wider business decisions that you're doing. So again, if you're an entrepreneur, you would be a generalist in that sense, and you would really develop your business strategy and your data informed decision making using critical thinking. So data and analytics is a really transferable skill from digital marketing. My apologies, I just need to fix this. uh, this is just a bit too far on the side. Um, so again, strategy where I would work a little bit would be again, those project management skills are so important here because you're engaging with the wider team. You're making sure that everyone is doing all of their work. We're all on target. So generalists know what I'm talking about here. We're looking at strategy and ROI. Again, there's so much research involved. You're thinking critically about that research. You might work with an agency as well, and that is a transferable skill because in any business role, you will likely be engaging outside help, and you need to make sure, I think, clarity and communication is really important here, as is budgeting, as is data analysis. So you get all of this from engaging in a digital marketing course, and again, it can help inform whatever career path you go down. We've talked a lot about SEO already, so we're clear on the transferable skills there. But the reason I mention this is because no matter what area you decide to go into, um, there are the top 10 most in demand skills across all professions. And I think whether you choose to go generalist route or specialist route, you need to have all of these skills. So this is from LinkedIn Learning for 2024, the most in-demand skills. We have communication, customer service, leadership, project management, and that's sort of like a leadership role, analytics, teamwork, sales, problem solving, research, and the very top skill of the moment is adaptability. We've already talked a lot about that here today because when you're a specialist in your specific area, you need to be adaptable because you're so reliant on that area and you're such an expert in that area. In order to maintain your expertise, you need to be aware of all the changes that are happening, and you need to make sure that you're keeping on top of that. And of course, as a generalist, your job is adaptability. You're moving from one project to another. You're working with so many different people, and you yourself are having to upskill constantly to make sure that in your specific project, you're able to do what's needed of you. But all of these skills are really important because you are able to really develop them in this digital marketing course, the DMI Pro, that Intense is actually teaching at the moment. It's a DMI course, and Intense is teaching it with their experts, and they're bringing in local examples and all of this kind of stuff. So I know we have a few people on the call who are working towards, might be working in marketing, and they're thinking of working towards a specific area. This is a great way for you to really upskill and learn. Now, in addition to these soft skills, huge, but again, Michael also spoke about the big one, AI. AI is everywhere, and we all need to upskill in this, and we all need to make sure that we're staying ahead and making sure that we are up to date on everything that is going on. Sorry, my thing there. So Forbes also listed some top 10 skills for 2024. I just took two of them because I think that's relevant to today. Generative AI is incredibly important. So that's leveraging your Chat GPTs, your Google Gemini's, making sure that you're using those to the extent that they're available. And in the Forbes article that I was reading, they referred to it as the iPhone moment for AI. Basically, ChatGPT means that anyone can use it, like an iPhone. Anyone can use this highly technical thing, and they can use it to create, to automate, to save time across their professional and everyday lives. However, and this is how we talk about why it's so important to stand apart from the crowd. However, qualities and abilities are needed to spot opportunities, develop efficient solutions, manage change, and address ethical implications. These will be among the most valuable and in demand skills throughout 2024. And towards the end of 2024, I think we can all agree that's exactly right. So, one of the challenges about being a generalist that we spoke about was that you might not be standing apart in the competitive job market world. How do you do this? And one of the ways to do this is through a certification, because you're able to say, I've been held to a higher standard, to a global standard, and I can prove that I have these skills. Whereas other people might be brilliant, they're reading loads, they're watching things, all of that, but they haven't been held to a global standard, they haven't been tested on this, and they don't have a certificate to prove it. So that's a really, really great way to stand apart from the crowd. The other really in demand skill is data skills. And this is again in relation to AI, but we saw when I spoke about those transferable skills, we saw that data is incredibly important across any aspect of business. But as we all know, this is again from that Forbes article, the AI revolution is built on data and understanding how to transform it into value. So that's all about making those data driven decisions. And that's so, so important in business. If you aren't using AI, you aren't engaging with your data, and you aren't making changes and decisions based on that data, you will fall behind. So, but what's so important about all of this is you need to be ethical and trustworthy for important tasks like improving healthcare, furthering scientific research. AI needs to be transparent and explainable. So we need people like yourselves to upskill in AI, to be able to communicate the benefits of AI, how we're using it to drive solutions to improve our businesses, whatever it might be. But we need experts in the area. So there's a huge, huge demand for AI skills and knowledge. And again, this really comes into digital marketing. So there's a huge gap no matter what area you want to be a specialist or a generalist. Only 9% of companies in the world would rate their marketing department as strong in all aspects of marketing. So they're missing specialists, they're missing generalists. They need people who have skills in digital marketing in particular. 17% of companies believe they have the staff with skills to assist in digital transformation. So again, no matter where you are on the spectrum of specialist to generalist, companies are looking for people like yourselves who have the skills and who can prove it mostly through a certification. When it comes to sales as well, salespeople don't have active training in social selling. And this is something that we'd be speaking to our generalists here. In addition to be working in marketing, you do need to have an aspect of social selling, which is really a sales role. So many marketers and so many salespeople don't have training in the other way. So marketers might not have social selling training, and certainly salespeople might not have some marketing training here too. And that's such things as content management and all of that. Sorry, one moment. As a result, 77% of companies believe that the lack of digital skills is the number one obstacle to their ability to transform in today's world. So they're missing the SEO specialists, they're missing the digital transformation specialists, they need the growth marketers, they need the generalists, and there's just a huge gap. There's a big demand um, for people who, there's a big demand for quality, qualified marketers. So again, this is where the DMI comes in, and why we've partnered, where Intense has partnered with the DMI and teaches DMI material is to generalists and specialists like yourselves, because we get people jobs. We are very proud of this, but the DMI certification, the skills that DMIers have, it really speaks to success in the wider industry. So we have 92% of DMI alumni who are employed. 93% of those alumni said the certification course had a positive impact on their career. So, this is again for people today, just to throw this out there if you are interested. There is a lot of success here. If you're looking to change jobs or get a promotion, 86% of employers are more likely to hire candidates with the DMI certification on their CV. And for any people who are looking on the program today on the webinar, who are looking to get into digital marketing in the first place, 67% of those who did their course with the DMI to get their first job in digital marketing say that the skills certification course helped them get their first job in the field. So this is a great one for entry level, for people who have been working in digital marketing for a couple of years, and people who are looking to upskill. This is a course that is very helpful. So here's the course itself. We'll just fly through it. We have 10 modules. It's a 34-hour course if you do it directly online, but with Intense, you get the added benefit of having experts in the area teach you. So you get an extra level of support as well. But we look at general things like a general introduction to digital marketing in the era of AI. Then we go into all of those specialist areas like content marketing, social media marketing, SEO, paid search, email marketing. We look at the importance of soft skills in digital marketing. So this is across all areas. We're looking at things like communication, we're looking at strategy, we're looking at conflict resolution, leadership, project management, all of that. Going back into some specialist areas of website optimization and e-commerce, as well as Google Analytics, and bringing it all together with digital marketing strategy. If you do go through the course, what you'll see is that all these areas speak to each other. So if you're a specialist, you're working with other specialists, or you're working with generalists. And if you're a generalist, you need to have this knowledge of how email marketing is informed by content marketing, of how analytics is informed by website optimization. So you need all of this knowledge to make sure that you're the expert on what you're doing. And it's really important, whether you're a specialist or a generalist, to make sure that you have this wider knowledge here. A bit of information about this is that with the DMI, actually, I'll get to this in a moment, but we do work with industry leaders to validate our program and to build our program. Um, if you don't know us, we are the leading global certification and professional body for the digital marketing industry. So even if you don't want to take a DMI course, do come on and check out our membership, which I'll speak about in the moment. But this is where it's really great, and you can always be kept up to date. We publish articles a couple times a week. We have webinars, toolkits to make sure that all of your knowledge is kept up to date. So as a result of all of our work, we look to build bridge the global digital skills shortage. That's always a tongue twist. And we do this by working with industry leaders. So we have over 75,000 people who are certified across 100 countries. At the moment, we have over 360,000 members. So you would join a really big network of people. The reason we do so well is because we're built by the industry for the industry. We work with industry leaders on something called the Global Industry Advisory Council, and that's a board of about 20 people who meet twice a year with the DMI. They're leaders in HubSpot, LinkedIn, Meta. We work with people from Microsoft. We actually have Neil Patel on our board, and they look at our curriculum, make sure it's up to date, make sure it is relevant to getting you a job and get promotion, and making sure that you're the best digital marketer out there. So a couple people on our council at the moment, you can see we have people from Coca-Cola, we have people from NP Digital, we have, as I said, Microsoft, Google. We're really lucky to have all these people in a room. And what this means for you as a generalist, as a specialist, that whatever it is you're studying, you know that it's been certified by someone who I always like to think will hire me or eventually I'd like to be if I'm a digital marketer. So, the main point here about certifying, and that's why I'm bringing this up today, is that it gets you to stand apart from the crowd. Because, as we said, anyone can go on YouTube and watch something on social media marketing. Anyone can go on YouTube and learn a little bit about AI. But if you invest in education, you're able to prove this through your certificate. And you're also able to rest assured that you're getting the expert, most up to date knowledge on your digital marketing area. So, briefly before I finish up, just want to walk you through a membership. Where did I go? Um, we have lots of different career content. So, we have salary guides all around the world. We have a really great toolkit about assessing your career. And really, this is a nice reflective piece to have a look about if you're thinking of changing an aspect of your career, if you're not sure what you want to do next. Sorry, I just need to have a sip of water. I can feel myself about to cough. Sorry. Um, we have really great profiles of different people with different career stories to see where they got to. For anyone who's on the call who is thinking about, can I even get into digital marketing if I don't have any experience? We've got you covered there. We have advice on getting a digital marketing job without any experience. And for anyone just interested as well, we have we do a lot of our own research and we have a report on the Global Digital Skills and Training Report, Insight from Corporate Leaders from 2024. This is really, really interesting because it looks at what are the big gaps in employment in digital marketing at the moment, what are businesses looking for in prospective hires. So have a look at that. It's a really, really interesting read. As I said, we have lots of webinars with different people. Neil Patel, because we have a partnership with him and MP Digital, we have tons of webinars, toolkits, articles, all of that kind of stuff with him. Um, Clark Boyd, who is here, is a leading expert on AI, and he's really, really interesting. We work with him a lot, and his firm Novella on simulations, on all that kind of stuff. So do check out his webinars. As I said, we have real career stories. So this is a really, really great interview we've done with Amrita. She is living in Canada, and she was a computer scientist that then became a marketer and moved up even to a VP role in a really big company. So I think it's really interesting to see where people go. In that interview, I was just listening to it the other day. They make a great point that looking back, everyone's career seems very linear. It seems like it all fits together and makes sense. But when you're in it, it can be quite confusing and quite stressful. So it's always helpful to listen to how people got to where they were and know that you're all in the same place. Um, and yeah, it's really, really helpful. So, as I said as well, for anyone, just do check out to see AI skills, whether you're a generalist, a specialist. AI is, I'm sure, informing lots of your job. And continuous professional development is so important no matter what stream you go down. And we have you covered here too. If you do a DMI course with Intense, you will get automatically enrolled into continuous professional development. And you just need to maintain a couple credits over a few years. You can do this by reading articles, watching a webinar such as this, whatever it might be. But then you have a badge to say, you're keeping your continuous professional development up to date, which is really important when you're going for promotions, when you're going for new jobs. If you're trying to get a client, you can say, look, I am at the top of my game. I'm certified, relevant, and knowledgeable in digital marketing, and here's my stamp to prove it. So I'm going to leave it there. That was a whirlwind tour, but just it's so important to make sure your skills are up to date and make sure that you are making yourself the absolute best professional that you can. So here's our membership. As I said, we have lots of different things to show you, and you can just get lost in here in a good way. We have micro lessons that you can watch. We have different webinars and toolkits. Oopsies. And we're very proud of them. And I think you all would find them very, very interesting. So get in touch with Michael afterwards if you are interested in getting access to the DMI and if you're interested in any courses that Intense is doing, because you won't regret it.
Thank you very much, Alex. So I think we'll take questions from the audience now. Um, so questions, comments, you can just drop them in the chat. We'll get to them right now. Actually, so so I think from what we got from the audience so far, we see that a lot of people were tilting towards being a generalist. So now that you've um, gone through this webinar with us, are you still team generalist, or um, is anyone changing to a specialist now? Please let us know in the comments. Yes, Lyle asks if we can if you can get a replay of the webinar. Definitely, it will be hosted on the Intense Intense Group LinkedIn page. It will also be on YouTube, as well as other channels that um, you have registered with us. So yes, it is available for you. Okay, so um, Alex, I think we'll get to them. We'll get to them. So yes, from the webinar now, if you're looking to enroll to become a certified digital marketing expert with the Digital Marketing Institute, you can enroll with us. The Yes, so Samuel just asked that actually. So yes, getting to that, Samuel. So you can enroll with us. I think it will be highlighted on the screen very soon. So you can go to the Intense Digital website at intense.ng / digital marketing institute. So you can, okay, that's on the screen now. So Samuel says he wants to specialize in social media marketing. Yes, we can definitely help you out with that. We have a very strong social media marketing course with the Digital Marketing Institute. So you can reach out to the number on the screen, or you send an email, or you go to the website, which is intense.ng / digital marketing institute, and we'll definitely get to you to ensure that you enroll and become a certified digital marketing expert. So I think it's been a wonderful webinar. I really enjoyed this having with you, Alex. Looking forward to more. Looking forward to
Me too,
more.
Michael.
And to the audience that joined, thank you very much. The webinar will be made available to you, so you can always come back to it. Feel free to reach out whenever you can, and however you can. So thank you very much. We will see you on the next webinar. Thank you very much, Alex.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Brilliant job, everyone. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you very much. Bye.
Bye, bye, bye.